Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 36 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where today I would like to do a little bit more with my mob farm, prep for maybe doing some wither fightings, and maybe a few other fun things. At some point we're going to want to fully automate the wither if we can. That might be a challenge in this pack, so we're going to have to see what we can come up with for wither fight automations, because there's sometimes mods that we use to kill the wither automatically, and I don't know if we have any in the pack that make that easy. So we're going to have to come up with a creative way to automatically farm the wither. That said, last episode we got into soul shards, which got me lots of blaze rods and wither skeleton skulls. So we've got blaze rods a cooking here. I haven't started spawning wither skeletons. We want to look at making a beheading upgrade for our nice little mob farm in there. But before we do that, we need to clear out some of the junk that we've got going on in this setup here. So what I want to do is I want to basically do a insert card here. So let's see if I have my card holder ready. I should be able to set up a filter on this guy where we can whitelist what's allowed to be voided. So I want, like, for example, bows and tunics and potions to kind of be near the top of the list. And then we're also going to want, like, I wish this stuff had tags on it, but it kind of doesn't in a good way. So if I do all this and we set it to ignore NBT but only allow, and then on this side we set up a extract 8 at a time, what it should do now, is it going to take care of all the potions? Because I would like it to get rid of all potions. That would be nice. Excellent. Hey, that actually works out really well. Nice. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Alright, so that's taking care of a bulk of the nonsense. Remaining stuff will be gold and probably a few more types of stuff. Because I want to be very specific about what's allowed to be voided. Like, we never want to accidentally void something that's important to have. So, like, let's be careful about that. Like, boots, we should add leather boots. I guess leather legs if they exist in here somewhere. Yeah, we do have leather leggings. And probably gold leggings as well. So we've got a decent amount of whitelisting potential here. And then remember, we could always add another insert card here with another 15 items whitelisted. So we can be very specific about what's allowed to be voided versus what's not. Let's void sticks. I almost want to save the sugar and the glass bottles. But sticks I feel like we can absolutely void, right? Like, we don't need no sticks. We got a whole drawer of those over at the tree farm, don't we? I think that's accurate. But sugar and glass bottles we can take care of, right? What I'm going to do is temporarily remove this insert card for a minute. Now he's configured, right? Yes, because he has a high priority, right? That's why he's not fitting inside with, it's not stacking. Good. All right, cool. So now that these guys are turned off, let's get some more functional storage drawers. And there we go. Wow, that's all I can get? Bad luck. I should have a healthy amount of these guys, so I can get this many. Not that we need that many chests right now or drawers, but I want to have enough. Let's get, like, you know, this many. You know what? That'll be enough. I'll call that good. And then if we need more from there, we'll go on. That should be enough to get me going. I need further range on this thing. Now I want to lock everything and link everything. So this linker is on multiple. So I think we want to shift click U. Make sure that you're all linked, right? There we go. Now if we look at you, you're linked to everything. And if I do this, is that going to lock everything or unlock everything? I think that unlocked everything. So let's do that. And that should lock everything. And then I can insert my card back again. And that's cool. And then I was going to add sugar and bottles. Should I add these elemental shard things? I haven't gotten too many of them, but I also haven't really been running my farm since I added the elemental mod to the pack. So let's hold off for now because I suspect there's going to be a lot more needed there. So I feel like you could chill like that, and you could chill like that, glass bottles. I'm just going to move this guy down to here. That's probably plenty fine. All right. So, oh yeah, look, here's a bunch of the shards. All right, so let's see what mess that becomes. So I'll come back in a minute when we're ready to do the wither skeleton bit, because wither skeletons is going to be a whole bunch of mob drops, I'm sure. All right, so what I did between the cut here is I made myself some mob masher upgrades. Now I did, unfortunately, have to go mining for more gold. As you can see, we're a little bit low on gold. I had to get some because I need a pretty healthy amount of gold to make the gold helmets for the mob masher upgrade. So I needed to get a little bit more of that. That's why my mining gadget's out. But what we can do is turn this off for the time being. That should allow me... Did I turn it on? I may have turned it on. I'm not doing this on purpose. I promise you. I 100% promise you I am not doing this on purpose. Like, it's not for the joke. It's not for the laughs. Like, it's just Dyer is being a derp when it relates to this thing. You know, sometimes my setups are such that you turn on and sometimes you turn off. So, you know, it's a thing. It's a whole thing. We're getting there though. So anyway, let's install the mob masher upgrade for beheading. What this does is it makes it so that mobs that get killed by the mob masher are more likely to drop skulls. Very cool. So now I can turn this back on. Well, actually, let's turn it off. And I'm going to install... Where did I put... Where indeed? Where did my soul dudes go? Oh, I put them in here. That's right. I decided... See, I do things off camera, and sometimes when I'm recording, because of the way like my real life and everything goes, sometimes I'll like record a segment and then like step away for like an hour and then come back, and that's what happened this time. So literally an hour has lapsed since the last recorded segment, and what I said to myself an hour ago was, I'll just create a chest and put these soul shards in here because eventually we'll probably have more soul shards, right? So let's make this a little storage place for soul shards, and then I immediately forgot that I did that, and now we're back. So okay, so let's go ahead and install this dude. Now I'm curious if wither skeletons will spawn in there or not. They do. Good. Nice. Okay, cool. So like let's let that happen. Now tick accelerating is 100% a thing we can do, but we don't really need to because it looks like this thing kicks off every few seconds or so. So we're in good shape there. And we're getting our coal, our necrotic bones, our wither skeletons, and I'm going to take stone swords and add them to the whitelist here. Again, ignoring NBT, which means it'll take any stone sword regardless of how damaged it is. And then I would like these three things to be represented here, here, and here. So now going forward... I can do that, and that, and that, and we shouldn't get any more of those drops in the chest. Unless we back stuff. Now, did I install void upgrades in all these guys? I did. For the most part, they're all void upgraded, but I would imagine these new ones over here are not. So let's get a functional void drawer thing. Void upgrade seems easy peasy enough. We will need more drawers, though. What did I do, like 15-ish of them? And we're out of obsidian. Well, not like super out of obsidian, but a little bit. Remember, we have this set up down here, so we can always, you know, get more. And that should get me about 8-ish more of them. And then we'll just wait for a few more of these to show up. I could always do a little bit of that, too, if I needed to. Just to get obsidian cooking faster. But I'm going to call that good enough. Back to create land, where I will install... void upgrades and all. Oh boy, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, today we learned how that happens. So let's do this. Let's unlock and relock these drawers nice and quick. I think that would be you. There we go. Okay, cool. And then boom, boom, boom. And then can I like shift click you or... Oh, so you already have void. Okay, you're voided too. I think what we want to do is hit the side of this, but we don't want 3 void upgrades in there, that's for sure. We only need 1 void upgrade. I assume it would work if we put 3 in, but it's just a waste of a void upgrade at that point. So how many more void upgrades do we need? 1, 2, 3. Right? So void upgrade 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. Okay. And then we can get those installed. All right, nice. So now we've got some good things going on, right? We've got lots of wither skeleton skulls. I like the soul shards mod. Pretty cool so far. Definitely going to be useful. The one downside, obviously... Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it at the end of last episode because I was quickly wrapping up there, but my sword definitely broke. So the sword, unlike some other modded swords, definitely will completely break when it's done. So the good news is we still have a copy of Sharpness and Soul Stealer, right? So that's good news. We don't have to worry too much about the fact that our sword broke, because now we just have to make another one and reapply those enchants. And because we have the cool Britannia enchanting system, you know, that's awesome, right? All right, so good news. We've got a bunch of Wither Skeleton Skulls now, like a stupid amount. I let this run for like 5 minutes, and we're at like 600. So it's doing just fine. We also completely overloaded our Necrotic Bones and Coal, so we're good on those 2 fronts. To the point, and also, by the way, I totally died to the grinder again while you guys weren't looking because it was off camera, and it dropped a direwolf 20 head. So I'm going to start putting heads up here on the wall just to kind of commemorate my deaths. Because now that we have the beheading in there, I think I'll probably lose a head every time I, you know. So that's fun. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. So hey, we've got Wither Skeleton Skulls good to go now. Should we start investigating spawning the Wither and killing him and getting nether stars? I feel like that might not be a bad idea. So if we want to do that, one thing I know we're going to need is, do we have any shears in here or in here? I generally have a pair of shears somewhere. Now, as usual, I can't find them. There they are. Yay, I found them. It didn't even take that long. So there's a couple ways we can create a wither-proof safety zone. And let's take a look at some of our options real quick if you guys want. So if you search JEI for wither, and I'm going to put this wool away. We're going to need more, and I might need to do something clever to get more wool. But if we search JEI for wither, we'll find that there's definitely a block from mob grinding utils called tinted glass. Glass blocks designed to prevent light, tough enough to withstand withers. So that's cool, and it's not that expensive, to be honest with you. So, I mean, that's kind of neat. Is there anything else that we can do, like wither-proof? I don't know. What is that? Proof. Radiation shielding. Oh, radiation proof. Got it. What else? What else? What else? Anything else? I don't know. We could also go with the shield system from RF Tools. Now, that's a personal favorite of mine. I always like the RF Tool shields because, A, I always think that they look really cool, and B, I like the whole turn them on, turn them off thing because that's fun. Like, shields are fun. Shields are super fun. So I might go shields just because they're an interesting and fun way to do stuff. Does that sound like a plan? Now the problem is we're going to need to get energy over here. So that's going to have to be a thing that we do. We're going to have to figure out that. Now here's the thing with shields. We're going to need a lot of shield templates, and they require a lot of wool. And I have very small amounts of wool. So part of me wants to set up another mob farm, like an inverse mob farm that will be a passive mobs farm. What I could do, we probably don't need this setup anymore if we do this. We can get ourselves some delightful dirt. Now, do we have any chickens left, or have they all flown the coop, as it were? I don't see much by way of chickens remaining. That's kind of a bummer. We're going to have to go find some. But the gist is delightful dirt spawns more creature-type mobs. So many, many moons ago, when we were playing with mob grinding utilities, we created dreadful dirt that spawns hostile mobs. Delightful dirt apparently spawns friendly mobs, like cows and sheep and chickens and yada, yada, yada. What we can do is set up something like that with a similar fan system and a similar sorting system and all the same thing we had over there. Now, delightful dirt is the opposite of mobs, so light level below 10 will prevent creature mobs from spawning. So we turn off the lights to stop the spawning. We turn on the lights to allow spawning. Does that sound like might be fun to set up? And I did plan for that over here. That's why we have this big hole in the wall that I've never done anything good with. It's been on our to-do list for a million years, and now seems like as good a time as any to do it, right? So let's consider that, maybe. I think that sounds like a plan. Now, did I break anything over here when I accidentally lasered through the wall? No, I think we're actually in good shape. Sweet. Good. That's good. And we probably don't need you no more, right? Crafting table? I don't think so. Sweet. Okay. So let's do that. Let's set that up real quick. Okay. I'm going to build basically something over here. Like, what can we set up that would be like the opposite? Does JEI have the whole hashtag color thing working? Kind of. Kind of. Or is it $ green? Not really. Like, I would like something kind of greenish. What do we got bricks-wise that might be like a nice... You know, mossy might not be bad, but I think that'll probably be hard to get a large number of. Let me play through this a little bit and see what we got. Is this something that's like even close to attainable? We can get it with that. We can get it... Okay. Playing. Be right back. So I've got this stuff that looks like, or is called calcite. I guess that's from Vanilla Minecraft now, right? And I can turn that into polished calcite with quark. And I can turn that into, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, polished calcite bricks with quark. That sounds cool, right? Maybe we build out of this stuff. Maybe that would be cool. So I'm gonna real quick go with that. Let's knock this out real fast, shall we? So I'm gonna pop this down. Over here, we're probably gonna want still some dirt. We'll start with something simple, and then we'll go from there. Do I actually have... You know what? I could do bricks. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So what we're going to want is to kind of match what we have over here. So this will be my back corner, right? And that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8. And 8. Sweet. And then a quick, how do you do? Does this look about right? Yeah, it should be fine. Nope, wrong side. It's not a bad start, right? A little overflow, but not a big problem. Now we want to make sure that we also, like over here, have dark glass kind of fitting in, right? So we got 3 and then some dark glass. And the reason we want the dark glass is because we don't want light leaking in, allowing mobs to spawn when we don't want it. Now why does that feel like... Is this centered correctly? Okay, for some reason it didn't feel centered correctly. Maybe it's just because I don't have the top in yet. But no, we're good here. Okay, and then let's get an exchanger for dirt. Is this already dirt? Perfect. Let's make sure that you're not in fuzzy mode. And we should make sure the range is correct. That looks good to me, right? So that's cool. And then we're going to want some redstone dust and some redstone lamps. So I've got 2 redstone lamps. Give me 2 more. Some dust and a nice lever. And we'll kind of replicate what we had over here, right? So it's 2 in along this line. I'm literally just replicating this entire building. Does that look about right? That looks right to me. Beautiful. And if we check, yeah, F7 shows we're good. And then we're not good. Right, perfect. And then we want some dark glass. Right, is that what that was called? What's this stuff called? Tinted ethereal glass. Tinted ethereal glass. So So we're going to want at least a little bit more of that. Eyes of Ender are less of a problem than they were last time we tried to make this stuff, right? I think so. And part of me wants to, like, maintain these sheeps and cows. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get glass bottles, okay? And I'm going to save these guys with shrink. So let's make sure you're set to 2. And then I should be able to yoink and yoink. And then save these guys, right? Because I'm not going to lie, I'm starting to get tired of hearing them. Cool. I need to get some kind of battery for my toys. What do we got by way of personal batteries? I want to say, let's put away these bottles. I didn't lose any sheep or anything. I think I'm good though. I should sleep through the night too, but you know, sometimes it looks like nothing doing. All right, so that's cool, right? So now we got our sheep and cows in stock. Let's do this. I think thermal has a capacitor of some kind that we can use to store energy and give it to my items and whatnot. What do we got here? Here it is, flux capacitor. That's what we want. Let me get one of these. Let me add that to my to-do list. So we want a redstone coil. We want a flux capacitor. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I can augment that in some kind of machine. Tinker's Workbench? Yeah, that sounds about right. And I think that needs power, but I'm not sure. But we'll pop him down. Now, there's 2 modes the Tinker's Workbench can be in. Fill and charge, which is for filling up the capacitor, or augmenting. So I can put this guy in here, right? And what I can do is get one of these, and let's get a storage capacity, right? High flux, so that's 2x capacity, 6x transfer. This is 4 and 4. I want the 6x capacity. So let's look for augment. I want the 6x capacity stabilized RF coil. So this will allow me to hold a lot more RF inside. So if I do this and this, oh yeah, buddy, that's what's up. And then I can, actually no, I want you to go in here and here. That's what I want. And now this guy can hold a lot more RF, right? 500,000 RF. Without these, he can hold 500,000 RF. I guess I have to take him out for it to apply. Now he can hold 12 million RF. Cool. So now I can stick this guy in here. Okay, and guess what's going to happen? Listen carefully. Are you listening? Shh. You have to listen. You have to listen. Guess what's happening? Our automation kicked in. Remember I said that if our energy in our cell got low, it would start kicking on the reactor over there? Well, it just happened. How cool is that? So we can even augment this a little bit more, and that'll give us a net gain, right? So I can boost it even more with this stuff, okay? And then once we get to a certain threshold, it'll turn off the reactor in that room. It's cool though, right? Isn't that cool? How cool is that? Ah, there it goes. It just turned off, and then it turned back on, right? And then once this guy's full of RF storage-y stuff, then we'll be, you know, in a good place, right? Won't that be, that's awesome. I like that. Cool. Cool. All right. So now I'm just going to take this out of here. And I should be able to turn you two off. And we'll be good. So shift right click to toggle it on and off, and I think V, mode inventory, mode all items, mode equipment, mode inventory, mode all items. That's what I want. And this might be even something that we can stick as a charm. Look at that. So he can chill there, and now any items I have, whenever I use them, will automatically get recharged by this battery. And now eventually he'll run out, but that's a problem for future Dyer. Current Dyer's fine. Notice how my car, or not my card holder. So if I put you, I notice how my building gadget is full. And my mining gadget would probably drain that thing almost entirely, but, you know, I can hit this and it'll fill up. Look at it go. Boom. How cool. Zoinks. Filling up my gadgets. Loving it. So good. All right. So now we've got a nice little room. Let's look into... I need to find some chickens. So I'm actually going to go fly around the world for a minute, and I will find some chickens, and then we'll be back to... because we have to figure out how to get delightful dirt. I assume it's a thing. All right, so we wanted to get a nutritious chicken feed, which creates a golden egg that will create delightful dirt, right? So nutritious chicken feed is going to be 4 fluid XP buckets. Okay, so let's get some buckets of fluid XP. Luckily, we have everything else that we need. So that actually makes my life way easy, because all I got to do is huzzah! And then we can try that again, and we've got the 4 buckets. Nice. All right, and then I have a chicken that I found out in the world that I should de-shrinkify. And then feed. Happy birthday, Taco! So that's a good time. So golden egg will create the delightful dirt used on grass, dirt, mycelium, or farmland. So I guess we want to come in here. Now, before I set that up, we should set up our fans in much the same way that we set up our fans elsewhere, right? So this fan was set up with 2 wide. I got all this stuff in advance. Look at me. 3 and 2. So if we show the area here, we'll see where it's pushing mobs to, right? And then this fan was just 3 wide. And this fan was just 3 wide. And then we want the grinder, right? So the mob grinding utils grinder dude. So that's going to be 3, 3, and 2. So if I remember correctly, these are 3 each. Sweet. And let's keep it on the ground again, because chickens, right? If it's up here, then chickens. And let's get it ready with our levers. We're a little bit out of range here. Don't worry, there's some better range stuff coming in the future. And again, we're like basically just mirroring the setup we did before. So we want you 2 running at all times, right? These 2 fans. Why am I not... Oh, because I forgot to put this in. That's better. Yeah, no, that seems... Yes, much better. Sweet. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. What else, what else, what else? We're going to want, like we have back here, we're going to want the absorption hopper and the XP singularity tank and the chest, right? So we're going to want a hopper. And the chest. And the XP singularity tank. Technically, I don't think it has to be an XP drain. I think it can just be like... It can be like a normal tank, right? It's from grinding utilities. So we could just go with a singularity tank, and I think that would be sufficient, right? And we'll set this up the same way we had it over here, which was 0, 4, 1, right? So if we put this guy, he's off to the right of the lever. Okay, so chest here, this guy here, 0, 4, 1, and then down will be items, right? And which side was the tank? West is fluid. Perfect. And if we show area on you, it should be the entirety of this room, sending all items in here. So that, going forward, any items that fall into the world, inside this room for that matter, wind up in the chest. Perfect. Great. So now for our final trick, Let's get the golden dude. Cool. Oh my goodness, that is fun. That is a lot of things happening. Now, if I turn off the lights there, you know what? I need the lever, actually, on the fan. But the lights should prevent mob spawning further. So I do that, and then we give this guy a pull. And then we're getting stuff. In theory. And eventually, yeah. So we turn the lights on, mobs will spawn again. Right, and now we definitely want to... We want to get some... wow, it spawns all manner of creature, doesn't it? We want to get some sharpness applied, and we want to get other stuff. So let's get the upgrades. So we want sharpness and looting. Cool. So we're going to want 40 of these. Am I right about that? For looting. And then sharpness, we're going to need 40 swords. Do we have the iron for that by chance? It's an exceedingly good question. Let's sleep through the night, because, yeah, it's bedtime. Not that it's the end of the world, right? We have a lot of protections against mobs these days, but we can put away a few things. Oh, that's right. I want this out still. I haven't finished with that, but I'm finished with most of the other stuff. All right, so we need... How much iron do we have? We're at 73 iron. Is my math correct that we need, like, way more than that? We need 80, right? Iron in total. So let's get sharpness 5. We'll start with that, and then if we need it more in the future, we'll be fine, right? Ah, stop doing whatever that was. I was not prepared. Hopefully I can do something about this. Can I turn you back into... I can melt you back into iron. Good. Good. Melt it back into iron. That was a huge waste of iron. It made me sad. This is the exact 90, right? Yeah, that's cool. I might need to blacklist seared stone. All right, back in a few. You know, let's just get the fortune in there, and I'll take care of the rest of this in a minute. So turn the lights off so that I don't die. Put the fortune in at least, and then fan, and then we'll get you know, sharpness in a bit, and that'll just help things die faster. Cool. So I'm going to let this run for a little bit between episodes. We'll come back next time. And when we come back, we should have a healthy amount of mob drops that we can add to our drawer system that I set up over here. And we'll do a similar laser IO setup that we did over there, where it'll be like, hey, excess overflow chest plus other things. And then we'll figure that out. Cool. So then we'll have the passive mob spawns. We'll hopefully have a lot of wool from sheep, potentially. If not, we'll come up with another solution for shearing sheep automatically. But at least for now, we have some passive mob spawns. This would also help with food, by the way, because I'm tired of eating just potatoes. I would like, you know, something good. So wrapping up point for the episode, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For now, take it easy.